Boardroom squabbles between Old Mutual and its suspended CEO, Peter Moyo, continues to play out in court today. Old Mutual is determined not to have Moyo reinstated, this despite the court ruling that he should be allowed to go back to work. ENC's Heidi Jockers is following that story and joins us now. Heidi, good to have you right here on the rundown. It seems this battle is continuing between Peter Moyo as well as Old Mutual. And I understand Old Mutual is saying that they believe the court doesn't necessarily understand the real reasons why it initially axed Moyo.
Exactly, Tamelo, but I think just to get further clarity on how Peter Moyo is actually feeling, as well as his lawyer, we are joined by his lawyer Eric Mabuza, as well as Peter Moyo. Thank you so much for waiting for us. We know you've been waiting a while. We really do appreciate it. Today we're having Old Mutual here appealing the initial judgment where Judge Mashile ordered that Peter Moyo be reinstated with immediate effect. They're saying that they're appealing that, and they're saying that they dismissed Peter Moyo on proper grounds, as they feel as though there's been a complete breakdown of trust. Just from you guys, why are you here? Why are you objecting this appeal? And, it's been a long time. It's been about 6 months in and out of courts. How are you guys feeling at this stage?
We're very happy about the proceedings so far. You would have seen that it's a very lively debate. We've just taken over now to respond to the argument from Old Mutual. We have not even dealt with the merits of our defense. We're simply dealing with the technicalities to show that why we say that the matter is not appealable. So
why do you feel the matter is not appealable?
Because in terms of the law, it's an interim order, and there are reasons why interim orders should not generally be appealed, because it's merely a holding position. So if you appeal against what is mainly a holding position, it destroys the entire system. Our courts recognize that interim orders are imperfect, are not perfect. So if you go and appeal them, it just becomes a merry-go-round. It never ends.
Mr. Moyo, just one question for you. Old Mutual keeps insisting that there's been a breakdown of trust. The relationship is just not workable anymore, given the remarks you've made about the board, the chairperson, and so forth. Do you feel as though that really was the case between you and Old Mutual?
Well, it's interesting that every time they keep on adding things. They actually started off by saying the relationship had broken down on particular reasons. They actually went to enunciate those reasons, and none of those reasons actually stand. That is why now they keep on saying, oh, because I said that they're delinquent, because I said some of these things. I would expect Old Mutual to go back to accountability. If, for example, any of the statements that I'm saying are not true and they cannot be supported, maybe they might actually have a point, instead of actually just saying, because I've said they're delinquent. You are really having a board here that actually says they want a CEO that even if they are wrong, they cannot be challenged. That's a very, very dangerous thing for a company the size of Old Mutual. The board must actually allow itself to be held accountable. The board must actually understand that when they do something wrong, not all of us are going to keep quiet. I mean, you saw it even in the statements that were made by Trevor Manuel on Judge Mashile. The issue was, we are elected by shareholders, so we can ride roughshod over courts. That's actually the mentality that you keep on seeing through all of this. So every time you get all these things added, even right now, the issue of the recusal. They say
that was going to be my next question.
They say we brought Justice Mashile in. We did not. They actually, out of the blues, they actually stood up and actually talked about their importance, that they can't actually be told by one man putting on a robe. There are 14 of them, which is almost exactly the same argument that they've been having, even on my case, to say there are 14 of them. How dare I, as an individual, can challenge them?
So just in terms of the recusal, quickly, if we can just touch on that. They have mentioned the fact that the comments that were made about Judge Brian Mashile have caused some kind of discomfort, and this is why they've put in an application for the recusal, specifically for the contempt of court matter. What are your thoughts on that, given the fact that they were the ones that made those remarks, but they're asking for the recusal?
They made those remarks, in fact, at the beginning. In fact, it's in our court papers. They actually first wrote to us and asked us to withdraw that reference, and we said no. It's actually an aggravation of your contempt, because it actually shows your true state of mind. And in fact, if you recall, even later that day, Trevor Manuel actually literally repeated, he justified why it was. It was really after there was a lot of pressure that they actually went out and actually apologized. I'm talking about the public apology the following week.
Okay, thank you so much. I wish we had more time, but thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. Tumelo, I've lost audio to you, but there you have it. I think just getting a sense of what's actually going on between Peter Moyo and Old Mutual. It is important to note that it is the leave to appeal application that's before the courts today, where Old Mutual feels as though that initial judgment by Judge Brian Mashile to have Peter Moyo reinstated as a CEO with immediate effect has no standing and had no legal right, basically. So we'll obviously have to wait and see what the judges decide on. It's in front of 3 judges, so we'll just have to wait and see where that ends up and if there'll be any kind of decision today, which is highly unlikely.
All right.